We'll learn a beautiful piece of Zera Shimshon, this week's Parshat Nitzavim-Vayelech, the last Shabbos of the year, which is going to teach us a great yesod, how we can be zoiche to get to Geula Shlema, which we all are waiting for and yearning for. And the Parsha talks so much about the Geula, and in the Parshat Nitzavim, we have the secret, how we're going to be zoiche to Geula. Of course, you have to do tshuva, but there's also a very few other points, the other few points that we have to be mischazik in. And we'll have to learn the pasuk that talks about the Indian of the Geula, which is Zera Shimshon and Ois Beis speaks ba'arichos about it. So the pasuk begins, Perek Lamed, pasuk Gimel, tells us about the Shav Hashem Lekechel Shevutzcha, the Gershom is going to return us, and the Shav Kibetzcha Mikol Ha'amim is going to gather us together from all the nations that we were spread out by them. And then the pasuk Dalet tells us a very, very beautiful, poetic way of saying how there will be kibbutz galus. In Yeheni Tachacha, Tzeicha Shomayim, if you will be scattered, flung away to the edge of heaven, to the other end of the world, mamish, great nidach, tremendous Varfen, Misham Yekabetzcha Hashem Lekecha, Misham Yekabetzcha. From there, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will gather you, and from there He will take you. So here we have the Zera Shimshon asking two great questions. One, he's the only one to ask. The other one is a question which others already have posed before him. And the question he's asking is, once it says in the end, we don't have to say Misham Yekabetzcha Hashem Lekecha. All I have to say is Yekabetzcha Hashem Lekecha. Hashem will gather you from there, and we know obviously it's from there because that's what we just said. So he could have said it without the Misham. And then even to answer that, you have another problem. What is the double lashon? That Misham Yekabetzcha Hashem Lekecha, Misham Yekabetzcha. From there he will gather you, and from there he will take you. What are the two things here? So if you look at the Targum-Enes of Ezekiel, you will see that the second question is answered by the Targum-Enes of Ezekiel. Targum-Enes says a beautiful chap. He says, these are the words. He says, the first part, in Yehoim Mevadrecho in this Yofi Shemaya, if you will be scattered and flung in the edge of heaven, Mitamon Yichnoish Yoschain, Emer Hashem Elokachain, Hashem will gather you al Yedoi de Liyohu Kahano Rabbo, through Eliyahu, the great Kohen, the Kohen Gadol, who is going to be Mevasser, who's going to announce the Geula, and we'll hear some more things about that coming up. But to announce, that's what we know already, that Eliyahu Hanavi is the Mevasser HaGeula of through Mashiach. So that's the first part. Misham Yekabetzcha Hashem Lekecha. And the next part is Mitamon Yekorev Yoschon Al Yedoi de Malchus Mashiach, and from there it will be Mekarev you. He will bring you close to Him through the Melech HaMashiach, who's going to take you back to Eretz Yisrael. So we have over here two things. We have Eliyahu Hanavi, and we also have Mashiach. So therefore, it makes a lot of sense why it says a double lashon. Then we also have in the Al-Shech HaKodesh. The Al-Shech HaKodesh tells us another pshat. It says like this, that Misham Yekabetzcha would mean Hashem gathers all the Yidden to some place, and it could even be in Chutz La'aretz, in Eretz Ereichem. Misham Yikachecha, from there will take you, all of you, to Eretz Yisrael as one. Okay, that's what the Al-Shech HaKodesh says. But that only answers the second problem. We have to answer the first problem. Why does it say Misham Yekabetzcha Hashem Lekecha? And this is where the Zera Shimshon has this ingenious way interpretation of Meir the Kevart, and he builds it on the Gemara and Megillah. The Gemara and Megillah that they told Haman when he was starting to fall in front of Mordechai, who was his Eved, right? Who he made him into his Eved, and really Haman was the Eved of Mordechai, right? So if you're starting to fall in front of Mordechai, you should know that it's finished. He not fall people in front of you will fall totally in front of him. And now the question is, the Gemara has the kasha. Why does it say twice? He not fall people in front of it would be enough to say, you started to fall, you will keep people upon us, you will fall. And it's the same thing. What are the two nephilos? So it says, Doris of Yudabar Eloi, that they told Haman this message. They told him like this, Umos do this nation, Meshulo the upper, Meshulo the Kechavi. They're compared to earth and they're compared to the stars. Kishem Yordim, when they go down, Yordim Adla upper, they go down till the earth, low, 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 low. So Kishem Oilim, when they go up, Oilim the Rakia, they go up to the stars, to the heavens. And therefore what they were saying to Haman was this, that now the clouds, so you see, is in such a matter of nefila, that you see that even though you are really supposed to be the Eved of Mordechai, and it's the other way, it's you subjugating Mordechai under his own Eved, which is a tremendous nefila, like the Maharsha says over there, that is already a shiva. The fact that they fell so low, their nefila, not foil, is a shiva, is a reason for your people that you're going to fall totally. Because now they're going to be oil of Rakia, and now you're going to just fall and you'll be finished. And that's what they were telling to Haman. And the same thing you find in Gemara Brachos, of Dalam and Beit, that they find a pasuk. The pasuk says, "No falta, you fell, v'lo yisoisif, kum b'suos Yisrael, and you will never stand up again." Klal Yisrael, and that's what it sounds like. But however, the Gemara says that in Eretz Yisrael, they would answer the pasuk, they would explain it in a different way, in a total novel interpretation. From Arava Metaki Lalachi, they would answer it like this: "Not nafalta, you fell. The fact that you fell is a siva that you should not fall anymore, because from the tila you have to just get up. Kum b'suos Yisrael." And there's even a rule addition that you could add, and that is, if you fall in a way that you felt so much that you can never, there's nowhere to fall more, because you're right at the bottom. Azoi, kum b'suos Yisrael. Anyways, comes into, and the oimik of this is the Maharal speaks about it in many places in his farm, and he says that in order that something should be a new havaya, a new creation, a new being, it always comes mitzoch heder. It always comes out from a not being, and that is the more there is not. So that's what it's going to be. Yes, and it's a matter like where fruit is. That before it grows, right? First the seed rots, and then it grows, and so on and so forth. Maharal speaks about it a lot. We'll see at the end of the service from the Kliyakar about this Nakuda. But comes the Zera Shimshon and says, now we're going to explain Pshat in the Pasuk. If it's going to be a matzah where you're going to be so flung away, the last nth degree, that there's no more place where you could be thrown any further, which is rock bottom. This is a siva that you cannot fall anymore, and you must rise. And that's why he says, Misham yekavetzcha, Misham dafke, because you fell to such a low level that you can't even fall anymore. That's already a siva, that it's a havaya that has to come before his head there from not existing, because then it's going to be kum b'suos Yisrael, Misham yekavetzcha Hashem alekecha, u'misham yikochecha. So he answers beautifully the pshat in the Misham. That the word of the Misham is that it's dafke the lowliness, which is a siva, which is the reason for the tremendous aliyah, for the tremendous growth and rise, which is going to be afterwards. But however, how do you answer the kfelus haloshen, the double loshen? So here comes Zera Shimshon, a novel interpretation. He says the following. He says, Lefi, because the Tlawisa went to Golos, the second Golos to Iker, which we know the Gemara in Yuma Daf Tes Amud Beis says, it was all because of sinas chinam, hatred for nothing. So the klal is, of course, that the only way to get to Geula is only going to be when there's going to be achdus, when we're going to be united, when we're going to live this sholem together. And he brings all different Mekayos, Yisoidus about that, by all different sources. So what do we see? That the only way to get to Geula is only going to be when there's sholem. So therefore, that's what the pasuk is saying. Misham yekabetzcha. It's now a matzah of fall. The you have to rise, but the only way you're going to rise is because from there, Hashem will bless you with peace, he says, and you'll be mekubos, you'll all become gathered as one person with one heart. That's going to be Misham Yikabetzcha, and then from this Shalom and Achdus, then in Misham Yikachecha, you'll be able to take you out of the Golus. So it's a beautiful pshat in the pasuk explains the Misham, and it explains the Kfeilos, the double Lashon, Misham Yikabetzcha Hashem Alikecha, Misham Yikachecha. And he's married about the whole topic much more. Look at the Arichas over here in the Ois Beis. We want to add, according to what we just mentioned before, that there's a Targum Yonason that says that the first Misham Yikabetzcha is going about Eliyahu Hanavi, who's the Kohen Hagadol, who's going to be Mivasta the Geula. So we have to mention like this, that it's Gevaldik Meduyak, what the Pshat Misham Yikabetzcha has to do with the Indian of Achdus. Why? Because we find in the Mishnah, at the end of Idiot, that tells us that the takwas of Eliyahu Hanavi is to bring shalom between Yisrael and Nabiyim Shebashamayim and between Klal Yisrael themselves. And the Pasuk says, "V'heishiv le'avois albanim u'le'avanim alavoisom." He connects the fathers with the children with the fathers. He connects Klal Yisrael as one. And that's what the idea of Eliyahu Hanavi and being a Kohen Gadol, who the power of a Kohen is the Kohen of Aaron, a Kohen with Oyev Shalom, Oyev Shalom, tremendous Moisef Ahava and Shalom in Klal Yisrael, Mashkin Shalom in Ishli Ishtoi, Ubein Adam Lachaveiroi, and Oyev Shalom, Oyev Safius Mekabim L'Torah. So then it's very good that the Misham Yikabetzcha, it means Al Yadoi D'Eliyahu Kahana Lavo, the union of Achdus, and then a Misham Yikachecha. So Rabbi Isai, let's add another piece, which is the beautiful words of the Kliyakar that discusses the same aside about the fact that we rise only from when we fall to the lowest level that there is. And this is again to Rosh Hashanah, where we lay the whole meaning of the Akedah. At the end of the Akedah, we find that a special blessing that the Kodesh Baruch Hu tells Avraham Avinu, your children will be like the stars of the heaven, like the sand which is on the seashore. And Parakah Beis Pasuk Yitzayim. There is a beautiful piece of Kliyakar which he refers to also what he says later on in Parshat Vayelech, which he quotes the Pasuk. And he says that we find the Klal Yisrael also compared that the Ribui will be like Afar. You'll be like Afar Ha'aretz. And the Dimyon Afar, he says, why are we comparing them to Afar? That's talking about and teaching about the time when they're very low in Madrege, Ruchni, Gashmes. When they'll be like earth, like the land that people just step upon them. And they'll be the Dutat Astoy on the lowest level that they could ever be. Misham Yalu Misheful Matzavam. From there, they're going to be like that Afar. That from Afar, they're going to shoot all the way up, and they're going to spread out to all sides. And that's what the meaning of the Afar is, and it brings the pasuk where it talks about it. And the pasuk is later on in Bereshis Chavches Yadalid, your children will be like the Afar Ha'aretz. And when it comes to such a level, that's good the reason for that's the Yom of Akedma. And Chazal cannot say that over there. And it's a pasuk in Tehillim Mem Daled Chav Vav. Shachar le'Afar Nafsheinu, our souls have bent down all the way to the earth. Right after that, what does it say? Kumas Rasalanu, get up and help us. It's a siba for Kumas Rasalanu. Comes in Siyakar and says a beautiful beer. It's not just a word of Havayo coming from Heder, like we mentioned from the Maral, but he says something very logical. The time we shall davar, the fee, because Klal Yisrael not doirish Hashem b'chol levav, no come to be tochen hasholim and tefillah me'oim mekalei. And understand that the only Yeshua they have is only the Rebbeinu Shloilo. When is that? The only time they come to that is Mashem, is Tachlis HaShiflus, when they are at the lowest level that could ever be, like we find in the Mishnah at the end of Saita, that says the person comes to such a matzah, such situation where he strives, he screams out, our only hope is the Rebbeinu Shalom. And we're in the year to our generation and the whole matzah of the Klal in the ganze Welt. where we're surrounded with so many enemies, especially here in Eretz Yisrael, and also in the ganze Welt. This is what brings to a tremendous bitachon hasholim and lishlosko kivisi Hashem, that we understand and we hope only for the Yeshua of the Rebbeinu Shalom. And that is what brings to tremendous geulas and brings to the geula hashleima. Ki yadua midarkei kol hadoros v'dereinu, like it's yadua from the ways of all the generations and our generation. And later on he's mirish about it in Parshat Nitzavim-Vayelech too. So Rabbi Isai, this is what we learned over here. One nekuda is that after from where we go to the lowest, that's Havaya Mitlecheder, that's where being comes from not being, from when the seed rots, that's the reason for it to sprout forth, and that is one Yesod, and the other is the Yesod that we heard is you have to be with that bitachon hasholim and have a true feeling, understanding. Our only Yeshua is the Rebbeinu Shalom. Only your Yeshua. That's the only thing that can help us. And that brings to tremendous Yeshuas and everything. But even want to bring the Geula, we have to be bitachon hasholim and kivui and feeling it can't come. Hashem cannot reveal Hashem Echad in this world. Only if we're going to be one ourselves, Am Echad Ba'aretz, we have to become unified. We have to come back to Achdus. And that's what we learned to other Yesod. Mishom Yekabetz Hashem Elokecha the Koach of Eliyahu, who's going to bring Ma'achid Klal Yisrael, the Koach of Kohen Gadol, Koach of Aharon HaKohen. That's what brings the Geula if we're going to come to tremendous Achdus. So Hishbogu should help, should be Chazik in these Inyanim, and through that, B'Seiche, to have a lechtik, beautiful new year, with all in Yonim, Ksiv Achtim Toivet, Agitya Ben Shtior, B'Seiche to Shnas Geula, Yeshua Sakral, Yeshua Saprat, the Binyan Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi, and Eliyahu coming through Mevaser, the Mashiach, the Oyrish of Mashiach, Yemheira, B'Yameinu, Amen, Kain, Yehi, Ratzain. Good Shabbos to everyone. The last Shabbos of the year, let's use it wherever we can and be oilim malam hala. Drive your bench, let everyone be blessed.